Okay, you can see we're here at 6507. I believe it's Cherry Grove. And I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of where we've been to this point. I've done the exterior and the garage, and I've looked at all the things that are accessible in these areas. So let me show you where we are. Here at the front of the house, at the front corner, right side. Okay, you can see your water meter. Okay, I opened up the lid to make sure that the meter wasn't running, because that will often tell you if there's a leak or not, and it was still. That's a good thing. And as we walk around the construction, you can see it's concrete block masonry, stucco. It's all recently been painted out here, so I'm sure that there's been some cosmetic cracks that likely were filled and things like that. Things we're used to seeing that has been already done for you, which is a good thing. The first thing that comes to my mind on this particular property as I look around is there's no gutters on the roof. We always look at that because if you can eliminate the water falling down from the side of the roof down close to the foundation, that would be a good thing, because you could see some erosion has already taken place here. Walking along the side of the building, this is your main water valve. The materials that are used here are PVC to CPVC. Okay, and I checked this for leaks and this seems to be okay. No problems. This is the valve that you would come to shut the water off for the entire building. Alright, looking around you can see everything has been painted up, like I said. That's a good thing. This is the first hose bib that we come to here outside, and the first thing I noticed is that the backflow preventer has been removed, so you'll want to replace that. The backflow preventer is important because if you leave the hose connected to the hose bib and it's laying in the ground, there's always a possibility of water siphoning back into the plumbing system, and sometimes that water can be contaminated, so you'd want to be aware of that. Backflow preventer will prevent that from happening. Looking at the back partition wall, you could just see some cracking back there. I would see if that's the association's responsibility or yours, whatever the case may be. Just be aware it's there. It's in the back corner. Okay, one thing that I did find a little troubling just to bring to your attention is this crack here at the back gable wall. Normally cracks aren't superficial and they're not problematic, but the thing about this particular crack is that you could see the stucco had started to come away from the wall. That could mean that enough water got in over time that the lathe behind it has started to pull away from the OSB. When I get into the attic, I'll look at that gable wall if I have access to it to see what the inside looks like, but this looks like they sealed it up right now and it might be okay, but you have to be aware of the fact that this could be and eventually turn into a repair where you might have to restucco this. Alright, and as you come around back, just kind of glancing around, got a fruit tree back there. It's kind of cool. Okay, around this side of the building, we're pretty much looking at the same thing. Need to put gutters up there. That would be a good idea. I don't usually inspect communication wiring, but there's just a cut piece of coax there. When you get in whatever form of entertainment you choose, you know, whether it be satellite dish or cable, that'll be handled. They've recently replaced the air conditioning system. We did a public record search. There's not a permit for this. That happens a lot, but the right way to do it is usually to pull the permit. I took a look at the serial number and the date. That's how I can tell you when it's installed. Okay, it's installed this year, 2014. This is a 4-ton unit. Okay, the first thing I would do out here is fix the condensation line. Usually they'll put a cap on the top and let it drip out on the side here. The other thing I would do is I would pay attention to the way it's installed. You really want the condenser unit to be installed as level as possible. You can see that's tilted a little bit. That likely is because over time the water runoff from the roof has allowed the concrete pad to tilt. The installer should have made that level when he put it in. It's not a big deal, but you know, it's not correct. It's not correct either, so you'd want to be aware of that. There's a gas line that used to be here. A gas meter's been removed, and we're just going to recommend that this gets terminated properly. I mean, I've got this wire here, and I've got this line here, and it doesn't seem like there's anything going through it, obviously, but it is definitely not terminated properly, so you'd want to have that taken care of. Make sure that that gets taken care of just in case. Okay, you can see the other hose bib here missing the backflow. Okay, this is your main service disconnect panel here at the outside. It's square D service, 150 amp. All right, and let's see if I can get this I'm going to put this down for a moment. I'm going to take the cover off of that panel for us. Okay, I took a look inside, okay, just so you can see what I saw. The wiring is 2-aught aluminum. That's what's used here. That's pretty standard. Ground and neutral wires are bonded together. No discoloration, no signs of overheating. We did an infrared scan of the outside panel and inside panel. You can see the numbers are fine, which is a good thing. And then you can see the ground wire here at the bottom of the panel, and it goes down to earth where it hooks up to the ground rod. Alright, so that looks to be in pretty good condition. This is the backflow preventer for the sprinkler system. That's right on the left side of the house. That's the rain sensor for the sprinkler system on the left side of the house. And this wire here is low voltage wiring, but it's been damaged by lawn maintenance equipment. You probably want to have that fixed. That's part of the sprinkler system. Alright, so we're going to just walk into the garage here. We've already checked the garage door opener. Those things look good. Sprinkler panel is on the left side, inside the garage. Panning over, you can see we've already removed the electrical panel for the sub panel in the garage, and if you look in there, you can see the wires look good. A couple of things that we're going to recommend here get taken care of. Here in the bottom corner on the left side, there's some improperly terminated wiring there. We're going to want that taken care of. Here at the top, this breaker, this 50 amp breaker here for the condenser unit is too large for the unit they installed. The maximum breaker on that label says 45 amps, so you'd want to have that switched out to a 45 amp breaker. Alright, also I think they installed this breaker here which doesn't have a label on the panel legend, and that probably was when they replaced the gas water heater with this electric water heater, which is, there's your wiring right there. So we're going to recommend a couple things on electrical. You can see they didn't put the conduit tight against the garage ceiling. That's something they probably can do pretty simple. The water heater's new. It's 40 gallons, manufactured in 2014. It's a Rheem. Rheem is a good brand. Okay, moving right along, air handler unit. It's Carrier, 2014. I'm going to estimate 14 SEER. Again, no permit on these units, water heater or air handler, but that's not uncommon, as I mentioned earlier. I'm going to put you down for a second. And we're going to take this cover off so you can see the types of coils you have here. Alright, the types of coils are aluminum coated. Alright, they're copper but aluminum coated. And that's kind of a new thing to help with prevention of corrosion and things of that nature. So that's a new unit just installed. There's another filter replacement location in the inside of the living room, but you can see that you have one here as well. Alright, we're going to pick back up in a little while. The next video is going to be a shot of the roof, and we'll see how that looks.